Hi, everyone. I always want to say good morning, but it's not morning for a lot of you. It is a beautiful day here. I have the windows open, so the cats will likely be in this area quite a bit. And I am excited to do some reading. Oh, okay, I'm not tired. This is always the problem. I like sleep in really late on Saturday, and then I don't want to go to bed on Saturday night into Sunday. But that's when I do these in the morning. So, but it's good because it gets me like back into the swing of things for like getting back into the work week and like waking up early. I should really just not sleep in on Saturdays. Hi, Marcella. Good morning, Sam. What is everybody reading? Hi, Amelia. I am reading, it says it on my screen, but I'm reading A Gathering of Shadows. I've just started it this morning, and my goal is to read this entire book today. I think some of you at least were definitely here for the last stream when I was told about the hardest challenge you'll ever do, and I'm obsessed now. So that's my new thing. Even though it technically started in like June of like 2024, but that's fine. We're going to ignore that. And I'm just going to do the challenge because it just seems fun. But one of the squares on it is to read a 500-page book in one day. So I'm going to attempt that today. And I figured going with the second book of a trilogy that I already like really enjoyed the first book and I know the characters and everything would really help. So I literally started this morning and I'm only 30 pages in, but hopefully I can get a good amount done today, or done in this, in these sprints. Oh, I'm reading The Body Keeps Score. Super interesting, but heavy going. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I read some heavy books recently and I'm excited about, reading books that aren't so heavy. Yeah. I haven't read that one, but I do want to. Hi, Sarah. Started reading Cursed Bunny, just going to read a couple stories at a time. Nice. Yeah, that's how I like to do short story collections. And I really like Cursed Bunny personally. Although I know that's a divisive collection. This is the third time this weekend that your book has been mentioned to me. I'm taking this as a sign. The book that Marcella's reading, or I feel like I need more info. I have to finish books for 2 different book clubs. Haven't started the TBR spin book yet. I actually finished my TBR spin book on the last day of March. I finished my April book on the last day of March. And I have thoughts. I'm editing together a video that is just taking me a long time. It's been a long time since I've like filmed a reading vlog, but I filmed a reading vlog trying to finish my March TBR before the end of March. And that was one of the books that it wasn't on my March TBR, but it ended up being a part of the video because I did finish it before the end of March. So I did talk about the Midnight Library in that, but I didn't. It's not my favorite. I'm really glad that I finally read it so that I like know because so many people have read that book. It's just like one of those books, and it was really readable. I'll give it that. But like, I just didn't like it as a whole. I had quite a few problems with it, actually. Hello. Welcome in. I like the first 2 stories. Good. I think if you like the first 2 stories of Cursed Bunny, then you're going to like the collection as a whole. Okay. And Marcella, what book are you reading? Have you? Oh, The Body Keeps Score. Oh my gosh. Literally was just talking about it. Yeah, Sarah, maybe we're going to have to read it. If you've been mentioned to it 3 times. I've read it, or I've been suggested to read it several times as well. I know, it's so silly. And I don't know if I'm actually gonna like do it for a full year and like try to get through every challenge and everything. But I figure if I'm excited about it, then at the very least it'll get me into like some fun reading for like a few months and like getting excited about different things. And I've been trying to figure out ways that like my current TBR could like fit for it. So it is an insane challenge though. But yeah, and then I think it'll make for some fun videos. So yep, doing it. I am I decided to start it on April 1st, which is just kind of funny because April Fool's Day. But I've only done like 3 books towards that. I've only read 3 books in April. I think I read too much at the end of March, trying to like squeeze a bunch in to a short time. And then also the first week of April was my busiest work week of the year. So everything outside of work was put on hold. I think you'd find it very interesting with your work and everything. Oh, nice. I think we'll have to read it. Happy Red Library hated it. Yeah, same. There's like for those of you who don't know what the Midnight Library is about, it's a very cool premise. Basically, between life and death, there's a library that this girl goes to, and each book is represents her life if she had made a certain decision differently in her life. So like she was in a band and she decided to, like, right before they were possibly going to take off, she decided that actually she didn't want to be in that band. And so she leaves it. And so she gets to see what her life would have looked like if she had stayed in the band. But she can only see it starting from the point in which she died originally, and like goes to the Midnight Library originally. So she doesn't get to like see all that what's leading up to it. But this girl gives up on lives. Like it is her job. And that's what killed me. Because I really love stories where it's like things aren't looking great. And even if it's like not your fault, like you try to like fix, like Mean Girls, like technically some of the stuff is Katie's fault, but like not all of it. But she takes like, she goes through the growth as if all of it was her fault, because she knows that she did do like bad stuff as well. And I like those types of stories. I absolutely love. And so when she like steps into these lives and she's like, I don't really like this one, and then just leaves, I'm like, you could try. You could maybe try a little bit. Maybe spend more than like an hour here. Oh, it killed me. And then also she was on antidepressants in it, and every time she would see that a life of hers, she was taking antidepressants, she was like, well, this one's a bust. I was like, that's not, this is a good sign, because like you're clearly getting help in like something that you need help in. I might be biased because I'm on antidepressants for my anxiety, but like I think they help a lot and they actually make my life better. And if I wasn't on them, like what if the life she steps into where she's not on antidepressants, she needs them, but she just didn't go to the doctor because she's ashamed about it. Oh, anyways, that's my little rant. I could say more, but I won't. Read so many books from the International Booker long list lately, so that kept me busy. Yeah, I saw the short list come out. And so I had the resurgence of FOMO that I haven't been like reading the books from it. But I think that just kind of solidifies that I really want to do Booker this year. So I think that that'll be really fun. And then maybe that excitement will just like carry through year to year, and I'll do International Booker and Booker again like I used to. I listened to the Midnight Library while I painted my kitchen, and I loved it. I wonder if listening to it would have been better. Because No, I didn't use the audiobook at all. I think the wait was too long. Usually I try to get the library book from the library, or the audiobook from the library, at the same time that I'm reading whatever book, so that I can easily switch. And it's like the only way that I stick to reading just one book usually at a time. Otherwise I'll start like a lot of different books just depending on what audiobook I can get. But that one I couldn't get the audiobook, so I just fully read it with my eyeballs the whole time. But I wonder if the audiobook would have like helped a bit. Was A Darker Shade of Magic good? Yes, I loved A Darker Shade of Magic. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I read it pretty quickly, especially considering I was visiting my parents at the time. Um, and I like we would like go out to dinner, and then we would come back and be like, oh, we're all so tired and everything, and then I'd like sit on the couch and be like, let me just read a little bit more. And my mom would stay up or try to stay up and play spades with me. It was a lovely time. Not play spades with me, play spades on her phone with other people, with strangers on the internet. I don't play spades. But yeah, I really loved A Darker Shade of Magic. So this has been a highly anticipated read, and I feel like the only reason I haven't picked it up like immediately afterwards was because I was reading the Live Ship Traders trilogy, which is another fantasy trilogy, and I was behind on that read along, I guess, that Win from Literary Diversions does. So I wanted to catch up on that before, and not like try to go back and forth between fantasy series, because there was a time not that long ago when I was not reading any fantasy books at all. And so it's still very new to me that like I'm really enjoying fantasy books again. But yeah, I am so excited about finally getting to read this. And I wouldn't be surprised if I just started reading the third one immediately after finishing this one. The challenge was insane. But the harder it is, the more tempting it is. Yes. What is that? What is that in my brain? That like I see a challenge and I'm like, man, that's really hard. Be pretty fun to do. Can't wait for videos about the challenge. Yay. Yeah, I've almost finished filming the first one. And actually, if I wasn't pausing to start this book, just so that I could read it today, then I would be finishing that video today. But yeah, this will be, I think, the first book of the second video for that. So I just basically need to edit. I need to edit things, which is always the holdup for me. I get too caught up in the editing process. But yeah, I'm excited that you're excited about videos for the challenge, because I'm excited to make them. Like I've already been having so much fun. So I hope that people like them, because I'm already just like doubling down on it. I'm reading Assassin's Apprentice. Oh yeah, for my April spin in the UK. Not sure if elsewhere. HarperCollins website has 40% off all of the Realm of the Elderlings books. Okay, I might have to look into that, because I have the next one, like the first book of the next trilogy, and then I have like some random ones that I've found in like used bookstores just when I've been there, and I have to look at the Robin Hobb books now, because I know that eventually I'll be reading them. But I still have some gaps. So I'm gonna have to look to see if it is going on in the US as well. That is great to know. Thank you very much. How are you liking Assassin's Apprentice so far? I have to know. Because I'm hoping that even though Assassin's Apprentice for me was just kind of like an okay book, every book after that was a love. And I think that was more of a me problem for the beginning, just because I struggle with young protagonists, and he's pretty young in that one. But he grows up, so then it's fine. I also think that I read that one at a really hard time, because I was actively moving when I was reading that one. And so it took me forever to read. I want to say like over a month, and it's the shortest of the books. It took me way longer than any of the other books, and it's the shortest one. But it's just because we were in the process of moving, and I had to restart it once because I listened to it while packing, and like nothing was retained. But I feel like if I went back now though and read it, I would really love it. Oh, I love seeing those ones on my bookshelf. They make me happy. Only about 30 pages or 35 pages in, but I love the writing style. Oh, good. That's a good thing to like when starting a series. It reminds me of Amanda Scott's writing style. I don't know that I've ever heard of that series, but now I have to look it up. I'm always now on the lookout for fantasy series because it's my new obsession. I'm going to be starting the Wolf Song series. What is that called? Green something series by TJ Klune. And I'm a little nervous about it because I didn't love House on the Cerulean Sea, but I have a good feeling about Wolf Song for some reason. I cannot tell you why. Okay, I'm looking at this series. It looks like there was adaptations made of it. Yeah, I haven't heard of this at all. When was it written? I love that there's like, because I feel like I didn't know about any female authors for fantasy books while I was growing up, but clearly they existed. Like Robin Hobb started, I think the first book in the Realm of the Elderling was published like the year I was born, or maybe just before. Okay, these were published in, or the first one was published in 2003. So yeah, like I didn't know that there was fantasy written by women. Okay, I am definitely going to look into it. I love a fantasy recommendation. So thank you for this one. It's officially on my story graph. Okay, let's get reading. I'm very excited. My book started with a bang, and it was very exciting. and now we're kind of getting the backstory of between when the first book ended and this book starts. So I'm excited for that as well. So we'll do a 40-minute sprint and then we'll chat after that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I keep thinking there is because I'm so used to the TBR spin ones, but we're just reading today. We're just reading and chatting, and it's going to be a great time. Okay, I might get up to make some tea, possibly some breakfast, but we'll see. Mostly right now I just want to read, but I know that at some point I'm going to need to eat food. All right, happy reading, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can't hear the coffee grinder in the background. This is bad timing. How's everybody's reading going? I made it to 58 pages in, and I'm officially in part 2, which I'm also excited about. I was loving where part 1 was going, and now it's really nice to see the people I'm seeing again in part 2. Why have I stopped making books or making videos about book prizes? You know, that's a great question. I feel like I've talked about it a couple times, but I think there's a lot of like little reasons. One main one is just that it takes a lot of time and a lot of time away from the books that are on my TBR that I really also want to read. And I have a hard time doing a good mixture of the two. I'm very all or nothing on things. So I think that's probably part of it. And then also the main prize I was making stuff for was Booker. And they just switched marketing companies, and they weren't as interested in working from somebody from the US, which is fine. Totally okay. I think it makes a lot of sense, but some of the books are kind of hard to get your hands on. So when you're not like in the country that they need to be published in, so that just like added an extra challenge, and knowing that like it was a possibility that I might not be able to get all the books, and because I'm an all or nothing person, that I think really slowed it down for me. But I am probably going to be doing Booker this year. I say probably. I'm doing Booker this year, so it's coming back around. Just not International Booker, which is currently happening. All cats to the window. Yes, they heard the call of the wild ish. Yeah, they were all there for a second. Just joined. How is everyone? I'm currently reading or watching Going 17 as I read Hera by Jennifer Saint. The book was okay. What is Going 17? And also, what is Hera? This is bad. I don't know anything. By Jennifer Saint. Oh, I've seen this book cover. Is it? I'm assuming it's about Hera, of like Zeus and Hera. And then I'm assuming Going 17 is either an adaptation of that or just another like adaptation of the story of Hera. Oh, I see. So you have Going 17. I see. No, this makes a lot more sense now. Well, that's good. I read a few pages. I'm not loving this, but I also don't hate it. It's a weird feeling. I struggle with mythology and books, and specifically Greek mythology, which is weird because that was like my favorite part of history class in school, but it's always something I struggle with. Circe by Madeline Miller, did not like that book at all, and it is a very famously loved book. But I think that was more the mythology than the actual book itself. 50% into my book, and also did some laundry. Nice. Double duty. But I want to get through it so I can reward myself with reading ASAP, which is the companion book to XOXO by Axio. Read it in 2 days. Didn't want to put the book down. That's the sign of a great book. That's how I felt about the first book in this trilogy, which is why it's so exciting that I'm finally reading the second one. I had to shower first as I finished a very hard workout just before the live started. Yay! So read for about 15 minutes. Well, good for you. I did a core workout yesterday, and I don't think I've like specifically focused on core in quite some time. Like I do yoga quite a bit, which obviously works your core, and I do some weight training. And like everything worked your core. But yesterday was the first time I'd done like a core focused workout in a long time. And I am dying today. Like my abs hurt so much. And like, even like my back, like back muscles, not like usually I feel like when people say their back hurts, it's a bad thing, but like good thing, I guess, soreness. But I woke up this morning and I was dying. Read another story from Cursed Bunny. Didn't mind it, but a little confused. Trying to think of what the third story was, but I can't remember. Or are you on the third story? Or maybe you were just saying that you liked the first two stories, but you read more than that. I can't remember now. Hi, Meg. Read about 30 pages of Breathing Lessons by Anne Tyler, hoping to finish it today. I've been in such a slump. Oh, that's the worst. I didn't go through a slump, but I went through like a pause of reading. And even that feels bad. And it's even worse though, being in a slump. Yeah, hopefully this means this will help you get out of it. And you can finish reading Breathing Lessons today. I've only read one book, I think, by Anne Tyler. And I feel like I remember it being okay, but I should try more. She's written a lot. Going 17 is a K-pop group's variety show. Oh, nice. That's fun. 17 is the name of the K-pop group, and the name of the show is Going 17. Well, great name then. Yeah, I have very limited knowledge of K-pop, but I do love Korean dramas. And there's a lot of fictitious K-pop bands in those. So I feel like I tangentially like it. Maybe you should DNF the book and read the book you really want to read. You know what? That's a great idea. I don't know if you're reading Hera for a specific reason, but we are big fans of DNFs here. Especially if there's a book you really want to read that you're putting off for it. I hate DNFing books. It's a hard thing. I've gotten better at it. I've already DNF'd 2 books this year, but if I really don't like it, then I might have to. Yeah, I now, something that weirdly helped me was when I started actually rating books and I said everything that was like a 1 point something and below, so like 1.75 or lower, then that rating to me means that I should have DNF'd it. And so then it makes it like, so that I get to the end of those books, and if I rated that, then I'm like, I almost feel like I've made the wrong decision earlier, which helps me oddly in future books to be like, okay, maybe I should actually DNF it. DNFing books makes me feel bad. I can't explain why. I get it. Like sometimes you think that if you keep going or something, it's going to get better, or maybe the ending's going to make it worth it or whatever. But I find that is very rarely the case. So still worth it for me personally. Core is my least favorite. Arms is my favorite. Yeah, Core is a lot. But I'm starting a new like program that's hopefully going to help me get to like headstands and handstands. I can do a headstand, but I think like the longest I've stayed up in one is like a little short of 10 seconds. So I'd like to be able to like more easily get up into it and then stay there. So really I'm using it as a means to an end. Loved Cursed Bunny. Wasn't my favorite, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I loved Cursed Bunny. Oh, I see. You put in parentheses. I thought you were reminding me what book you were reading. Thank you for that. That was very convenient if I had picked up on it. Yes, I remember that story. I can't remember feeling one way or the other about it. I feel like it says something that I still remember it. But I also feel like I remember a lot of the books from that collection, oddly. I think I was pretty mediocre to like maybe slightly into the liked territory for that one. I love books about Korea and Korean translated books. Yeah, there's one. I think I just requested another book that's translated by Anton Her, who translates a lot of Korean to English books. And I'm excited about that. I'm reading Hera mostly because it's a library book. Okay, fair. Yeah, I've got a few library books right now. Actually, I really need to go to the library and return a few books. That's what I'm feeling like. Maybe will it get better? It's a tough decision to do or to make. I used to do gymnastics when I was younger. I could do splits and cartwheels. I was a superhero, but now the only splits I know is a banana split. Yeah, I also did gymnastics when I was younger. I don't think I ever could do a full split though. I always wanted to be able to, but I could never do it. But I did really love gymnastics. I did like a few competitions and that was really fun. Going to start my 8th book from the International Booker long list next. You are crushing it. Nice job. I assume you're planning on reading all of them as you've just been knocking them out. That's what I want to do as a job. I want to do Korean to English translation, not just for books, but for anything. Oh, that'd be cool. The Korean language is so cool. I went to a boarding school for high school, and so I had some friends that were from Korea, and that was how I got into Korean dramas because that was pre Netflix. I think while I was in high school, Netflix like DVDs things started happening, but like Netflix didn't exist. And then it was a while after Netflix existed that like Korean dramas got put on there. But my friends from Korea would bring over like thumb drives of Korean dramas, and they would have like subtitles that you could add onto it for English so that we could watch it too. And yeah, I fell in love with them that way. And that also just like I really liked the language and the couple things that they would teach me and stuff. But yeah, that's really I was very, very into it, especially in high school when I was more surrounded by it. All right, let's do another 40 minutes. Maybe I can get through part 2. That would be great if I could do a part each one. It'll be the first time that I'm reading a whole long list. I'm only doing it because I'm really interested in the books. Yeah, this is a good collection. I think that's also part of the FOMO for me. Just casually trying to ignore the members of 17 making duck noises pretending to be zombies. I'm glad they're having fun. It seems like a good background show though. Especially if you've seen it before. My favorite ones to have on the background while I'm reading is shows that I've seen before. I do that with reading blogs a lot, with other people's reading blogs. If I've already seen it, then I'll like use it as a background reading blog. All right. Happy reading, everyone. Okay, finishing up our second reading sprint. I didn't quite make it to the end of part 2, but I'm just like a couple pages shy at 89 pages in. And it's really good. I'm so happy to be back in this world. Okay, let's see. International Booker 25 is excellent. Anton Hur has been part of it all. Yeah, that's right. That's why it's so good. It has to be. Seen it 4 times, 17 again. It's so fun. I can't help but laugh as I watch it. The members are so chaotic and unserious. Oh my god, I love them. That's so nice. I love having like comfort shows like that, especially ones that give you like happy feelings. Your favorite Murakami book or any Japanese translated books? I've only read one Murakami. It was the big one though. I read 1Q84. And I did like that one, but I do really want to read his other stuff. My favorite Japanese translated book. Probably a Yoko Ogawa book, but I don't even know. Probably The Memory Police, if I had to pick. I'm trying to think of other Japanese translated authors that I've read a good bit of. I don't know. Maybe I need to read more Japanese translated books. I do really like Yoko Ogawa though. International Booker judges are fantastic this year. Playing the Mafia game. Oh my gosh, that game is so much fun. And playing foot volleyball is so overdramatic. I love it. My favorite Japanese translated book is a short story collection by Yukiko Motoya. It's called Lonesome Bodybuilder, but also goes by Picnic in the Storm. Oh, Picnic in the Storm is a great name. Okay, I might have to add that to my list. I love a good short story collection, and I feel like I went through a bad phase with them, but I feel like I'm past it now. I finally read a short story collection that I liked again, and so I'm just assuming that I'm back to normal. Okay, just adding this to my to my story graph to read. Finally learned how the three-headed dog Cerberus came to be. I know I could have looked this up on Google, but where's the fun in that? Exactly. It's better to learn through books. Finished my TBR spin book first thing this month, and it is officially the only book I finished so far this month. Oh no. I've also been a little slow with reading this month. Although I've read 3 books now, but I think it took like a week and a half to read one book, and then like it came really quickly after that. And it wasn't because of the book. I loved the book. But I ended up reading 2 Stephen Graham Jones books this month. So The Buffalo Hunter was the first book that I read. That took me a while, but it was mostly work related that it took me a while. When I finally was able to get into it, I loved it. That was a 4.75 stars for me. And then I read The Only Good Indians, which was a 5-star for me, which is very exciting. It's actually my second 5-star of the year because 2 weeks ago I finally got my first 5-star of the year, which was Michael, you'll appreciate this. A Little Devil in America. So good. That book is so good. I like actually couldn't believe how good it was while I was reading it. Right now I am reading A Gathering of Shadows, the second book in, what is it called? It's not the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, because that's the name of the first book. I always for Shades of Magic. I think that's the name of the trilogy. And it's going great so far. I was so into Assassin's Apprentice then. I love it. Oh, yay. I'm so excited for you. I'm so glad you're going to be reading this series too. Also, I looked up for HarperCollins, and it does look like all of the Robin Hobb books that they have that can be shipped to the US are on sale right now. So, yay. I think they have like 2 or 3 that I don't already own. So I've got them in my cart, but then I'm really close to free shipping now. So I feel like I'll probably spend some more time browsing, which is not going to be good for my TBR. I already ordered some books used from somebody on Facebook Marketplace this month, which means 6 new books are coming onto my TBR. Oh, it's a constant struggle. I've been reading My Antonia for a book club this afternoon. I tried an audiobook, and even though it had a human name for a narrator, I felt like I was reading my first AI narrated book. Oh no. I'm so sad that that's becoming a thing. Like how that is not the way to listen to books. I hope that you're able to finish it though for book club. Hello, I have been having a great weekend. Hi, little fox. I'm so glad you're here. Is learning to read, and we read in I Can Read a book called Biscuit during the last sprint. Yay! Congrats on reading. I'm also so excited that he's reading. Fave Japanese translation here, Lonely Castle in the Mirror. Oh, I've heard really good things about that. Okay, that's another one that I have to read. Just gonna go ahead and read a bunch of Japanese translated books. Do I even have any on my TBR right now? I don't think I do. I feel like I don't have any translated. No, I do. I'm lying. Actually, I think I have an Anton Her translation on my shelves right now. Although it got really bad ratings. I didn't want to look at the ratings, but I did. Counterweight, which is a short story collection originally written in Korean, I'm assuming, since it's Anton Her that translated it. Just got back. Got distracted by Going 17. Understandable. Watched 2 episodes of the show. Read a few more pages of Hera. Nice. I just gifted my brother Buffalo Hunter Hunter. So happy so many people like it. It's so good. Yeah, the end. I struggled like a little bit at the beginning because I think it's like just a touch. It's a touch repetitive at the beginning, but that feeling ended so quickly that I really only had time to register that I was feeling it, and then it was over. And that was the only reason I think that it didn't get a 5-star for me. I've had 4 or 5 stars this year already. Nice. Oh, 11/22/63 by Stephen King. I really want to read that. That's like very high on my Stephen King list, which is disappointing because I don't own it. And I own like 3 other books by him right now that I haven't read. But I need to. In Memoriam. Oh, nice. Yeah, everybody loves In Memoriam. I haven't heard of Clytemnestra. That is a hard word to say. But that's great. 4 or 5 stars already this year. I feel like it's very weird that it took me this long because I think it was almost fully 3 months into the year. And I'd read, I think it was like my 29th book was the one that finally got 5 stars. I've been reading so much more this year than I read last year. And it still took me forever to find a 5-star. That's not to say though, I've had like a lot of good reading. I've had a lot of like 4-star and 4-point whatever star books. But I'm happy for your wonderful reading year. That happened to be 2 with the free shipping. And then when you apply the discount, you have to look again. Oh no. I'm going to end up with too many new books. I'm working on finishing up The Dark Forest today. Oh, nice. It's taken me a while to get through. I wasn't feeling it too much at first, but it's really picked up and is going faster. Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad to know that. I only have 1 translated book. Oh, I read that. Okay, there's another Japanese translated book. Yeah, I always misremember Ishiguro as being Japanese translated, but it's not. He's I think he lives in England, but he's Japanese British nationality, but he writes in English, so doesn't count because he's one of my favorites. I've read 6 books this month so far, and I've had 2 5 stars. That almost never happens. Congratulations. What are the 5 stars? I need to know. I would recommend it if you can ever get it. Yeah, I think they have it at my local bookstore. I try not to buy too many books from the same author if I haven't yet read the ones that I already own. And so he's definitely like in problem territory for me, where I own several that I haven't read from him. The only exception really is like Robin Hobb, because I know I'm going to read that whole series. And they're like all a part of the same thing. Actually, maybe there's a few other exceptions. Yeah, I have a few authors that are on my TBR too many times. But yeah, right now I have Pet Sematary, Misery, and The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. Is that the name of that book? All from Stephen King. And I think I'm about to buy another one for the reading challenge that I'm doing for one of the squares for that. So those 3 might not even be the next Stephen King book I read. Is the name of someone from ancient Greek. She's not a Greek goddess, but she's important in the history. Oh, nice. Are you, it seems like you're very interested in Greek mythology books. I feel like there's a lot of great ones being written right now, so that's a good spot to be in. It by Stephen King was the first ever book I read when I got into reading in 2018. Oh, nice. It's my all-time favorite book, but to be honest, it's hard for me to recommend that one because of the scene in the end. Okay, I haven't read it. What Stephen King books have I read? My first Stephen King was actually Under the Dome, which I read, I think, the year that it was published. It just sounded so good to me. And I did really like that one. There were things that I didn't like about it, but I would say overall as a reading experience, I really liked it. And then I've read The Shining, which I liked, and The Stand. I think those are the only... Oh, no, and The Green Mile, which I did not like. Not good. I think if it was rewritten, I liked it a lot better than the movie, though. Hot take. I think because one of the characters gets a lot better of an ending, and I feel like they were kind of... Oh, no, wait. I'm thinking of The Shining. I liked The Shining book a lot better than The Shining, the movie. Also, I'm not a huge Stanley Kubrick fan, so that's definitely a me problem because people love him as a director. The Green Mile, I think I liked the movie better. It's just The Green Mile was written to be like in separate publications, and to be like a serial that came out in 6 different parts. And so it's very repetitive because it has to say what happened in the last part in order to like remind you and everything. But Stephen King has expressed interest in rewriting it to be like an actual novel, but that was a long time ago that he said that, because it was in the introduction to my book, which I think is already over 10 years old. But I love Greek mythology. I played a video game in 2013 called Kid Icarus Uprising, and that's about Greek and has Greek gods and stuff. And that's what got you into it. Oh, nice. I really liked it in school, but for some reason it like does not translate over into reading fiction books for me. Maybe one day. Small Boats by Vincent Delacroix. I'm trying to think of how that would be in French. I'm terrible at French. And The Cold Crematorium. Nice. Probably the second toughest memoir you've ever read. What was the first one? I'm trying to think. What is the toughest memoir I've ever read? I think probably Chanel Miller's Know My Name. Like content-wise is very hard, but like also the way she wrote it. Oh. Also, can I just say I was so excited for her to get into like writing other books as well. And I only just discovered yesterday that it's middle grade books that she wants to write. And I don't read a lot of middle grade, so I probably won't be picking those up. I was a little disappointed by that. I mean, I'm very happy that she's doing what she wants to do, and has like, you know, it's like publishing books that she wants to get published, but it's such a fun game. And then I read Percy Jackson. Yeah, I think that's the main one that I know of that is like series wise anyways, that's based in Greek mythology. I would be interested in reading. I like reading YA books that are like from that era. I think it's just very nostalgic for me. So I should read a part of month. Got you. They were released a week apart each. So it was over 6 weeks of time, a week apart. And I actually even did a video where I read it in the way that was intended, where I read one part each week and like on the same day. Like I would consider that like the day the part came out. Because I thought that it would be fun to like read in the actual method that it was published. And I still didn't really like it. I never learned anything about Greek mythology in school, funnily enough. That is funny. Yeah, I think like in several of my history classes, we talked about it for some reason. It's probably just like the thing that most kids like the most in history. It's easier to teach them. I picked up A Little Life not long ago because it was at a secondhand shop and I had to get it, but now I'm scared to read it. Yeah, I just read A Little Life not that long ago. In January, I think I finished it. And it was a lot. Toughest memoir I ever read. Oh no, it was the toughest memoir I ever read. I read a lot about the Holocaust. Yeah, that's rough. Hello. Do you listen to Taylor Swift? Favorite song / album? I do listen to, I think more of her recent stuff I listen to. Although I haven't like really, this is embarrassing. I haven't gotten into the new album yet. I think I ran through like listening to a lot of her stuff because I have a lot of friends that are really, really into Taylor Swift and like went to Eras Tour and everything. And then I went to see the movie with them on like the night that it released, the like movie version of the tour. And so then I got like really into listening to more of her music, but then I went through so much of it and like it's still very new to me that I didn't actually get into the new album yet. So I'm waiting for that to my excitement about her older music to die down, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I like a lot of her new stuff. My favorite album though is either Folklore or Lover. Although somebody laughed at me once when I said Lover, and now I don't know if I should mention that as being a favorite. My favorite song is No Body, No Crime, but mostly because of Haim. I love Haim so much, and they're coming out with new music, and I'm so excited about it. They are one of my top favorites. I'll read the Green Mile that way. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, I do think it's a better reading experience than reading it fully back to back. My school was terrible. I never really learned much. That stinks. My public schools that I went to were really bad. My high school was good though. In some ways. There's always criticisms to have. I got about 20 Stephen King books from a friend who unhauled a lot of books. Now I have The Green Mile in 6 short books. Oh my gosh, that's so cool that you have it printed that way though. Taylor Swift fans scare me. I said to someone who's a huge fan that I didn't like Taylor Swift and they bullied me so hard and she hated me for that. So never again. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's certain fandoms that I think people go so hard for that it's really hard to hear when people don't like the thing. But yeah, hopefully my friends at least that like Taylor Swift are super nice. And I've had positive experiences as somebody who I never didn't like her music though. Even in high school, because Blank Space I think came out when I was in high school, and like everybody loved that song. Or was that in high school? That might have been after high school for me. And I remember You Belong With Me coming out and that being a huge moment. And we loved that music video. I remember my friends and I really loving the music video. Have you already decided how long you're going to sprint for today? I'll do at least one more. I'm trying to think time-wise. I do have to go to lunch with a friend. We're going to lunch for her birthday, which was this past week. So I'm trying to, let me think times. I'm so bad at this. At least one more. I might do like a short sprint after that. Because my plan is to like read all today anyway, besides going to lunch. The only music video I saw for Taylor was, what was it called? Bad Blood. Yeah, I saw that one day. That was the one that had like a lot of stars in it. Yeah, I'm still getting through them. Yeah, I think that album actually I like it more than I used to, the album that Bad Blood is on. What is that called? It's like the darker themed one. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I can't remember this. That's embarrassing. Um, but I used to not like that album, and then it like really came back around for me, and they're great running songs. If you like to run or do like cardio, they're perfect for that. Okay, but yeah, let's get into reading, get into another sprint, and then maybe we can do like a half sprint after that. Okay. We got to page 124, so pretty good that sprint. Some crazy stuff happened. Big reveal. And then I guess both were kind of reveals, not really like things happening, but yeah. Oh, this music video. Yes, that's Blank Space. I'm pretty positive. Western music sounds the same to me. I'll stick to K-pop. Fair. I feel like music from other places, sometimes it's hard to get like those differentiating bits. I'll finish your April TBR pick. Great. Congrats. The only thing I find hard to picture is how Zeus is holding a thunderbolt. You can't see thunder, lightning, yes, but not thunder. I assume a thunderbolt looks like a lightning bolt. It just like kind of is the same thing. I don't know. I'm on page 160 of 385 now. And I watched another episode of Going 17 too. Nice. Okay, so you're making it. You're making it through. You're nearly halfway, right? Hopefully I did that math right in my head. 20 pages left. Yay. And then you can say that you finished another book in April. Audiobook that one while cooking. Nice. Yeah, I am very fortunate to have also the audiobook from the library of this too, because I'll definitely be utilizing that today if I'm actually going to finish it today. I feel like I have not made enough progress for it to be 11 o'clock. But we'll see. The audiobook will definitely help me. And I'm having a fun time reading it. So I think that will make it a lot easier. The only time you can see thunder is in Pokemon. Maybe that's what it looks like. I'm reading The Impatient Between Cursed Bunny Stories. I've just got about 40 pages left in the book. Oh, nice. Oh, when I'm that close to the end of the book, I have a hard time doing literally anything else but finishing it. If I get to like the point where I just have 100 pages left in a book, there's something about like, I just want that satisfaction of having finished a book that I just like go. I can barely get myself to read this book. DNFs are always an option. I feel like I'm like the little devil on your shoulder. But no, DNFs are a good thing because it means that you figured out that book just isn't for you. And that's okay. But I know that it is a hard thing to do. All right. Yeah, let's do just like a 20-minute sprint. I'm just going to share only me while I figure out how to do this. It's been a long time since I've changed the timing on this. And I don't remember how. Oh, okay. Wait, I think I figured it out. Did I do it? No. Oh, Sam, it's a short book too. Nice. Love a good short book. Yeah, I have a couple short books on my TBR for April, but I've been like prioritizing the larger ones, not really on purpose. It's just happened. But I feel like that's kind of nice. I like when that happens versus the other way around. Okay. Oh, wait, I think I know. Oh, is this the ambient theme? Is that what I'm in? What am I doing? Why can't I figure out how to change this? Okay, I figured out what I changed. I just don't know how to change the thing I actually use. We might just have to change up what the view looks like on our thing. Okay. Yeah. I am going to just bring us into the focus one instead, I think. Oh, wait, I did it. I don't know how. I don't know how I did that, but I did it. I literally just clicked things. I'm not going to be able to change this back later. Oops. There. I'm going to get to like the TBR spin sprints that we have in 2 weeks. And oh, that's a good thing to point out. TBR spin is going to be the TBR spin sprints are going to be on April the 27th. Originally, I was thinking on the 20th, but that's also Easter. So I don't celebrate, but just in case you do, or like you have family, getting together or whatever. I figured probably not the best time to do reading sprints. So now we're going to be meeting on April the 27th to do our TBR spin and then do some reading sprints. Okay, let me catch up. Maybe it'll get a little better. Surely it has to. It's been so positively talked about in my area. That's how I felt about a lot of books. That's how I felt about Circe. Everybody was talking up Circe. And I was just like, by the end of it, I was like, I should have known this book just wasn't for me. But if you do already like Greek mythology, then it is possible that it'll get better. The shortest book I have is over 300 pages. Short book. I don't know her. I love a good short book. It's really weird, but like a lot of my 5-star reads are short books, and I don't know what that says about me. And actually, the shortest book I've read so far this month is The Only Good Indians. That was a pretty short book. I think that was like maybe just under 300 pages. But yeah, Night All Blood is Black, I think, is under 200 pages. That's one of my favorites. The Remains of the Day. Elena Knows. Oh, I love that book so much. I love, for some reason, short books. If you can do it well in a short book, then it's a 5 stars for me, apparently. I'm assuming that's applause for me figuring out the timer. Oh, it's your mom's birthday on the 20th too. Nice. So good. Then you can spend time with your mom. Not reading. I'm the opposite. I love long books. The longer the better for me. I also love reading long books. I just think that maybe there's just too much time to mess it up to where it's not a 5 star. But I do read quite a few long books, especially liking sci-fi and fantasy. A lot of those are pretty lengthy. And then I read War and Peace last year, which is by far the longest book I've ever read. And it was also one of my favorites of the year. It was so good. Yeah, there's a lot of books that I wish were longer. But those are usually like the medium length books. There's like a lot of 300 page or like 350 page books that I wish were longer. Okay, we're going to do a quick 20-minute sprint to end this off. And then go about our days. So hopefully you have a nice little short sprint. I would say War and Peace is amazing. Yeah, I would definitely say that that's a classic for a reason. I've read that and Anna Karenina. I preferred War and Peace personally, but I also think that maybe if I tried reading Anna Karenina again now, because that was a few years ago, I think maybe I wasn't ready for it. But also, if you're interested in reading War and Peace, I would also recommend this little like book that goes along with it called 80 Days with Tolstoy, I think it's called. Or no, Tolstoy Together it's called. And it's by Yi-Yun Lee. And basically what she did during COVID is she had like this website blog set up where they would read a specific amount of the book every day, and then people could like post their thoughts. But then she collected some of the more interesting thoughts and things like that into a full book. And then it basically goes through 80 days of reading War and Peace. And then there's like, after each day of reading, there's some stuff that you can read in the book as well. And that really helped me. And also seeing other people's perspectives on different areas, like they might have gotten something different out of it than I got out of it. It was so good. The title is Tolstoy Together. Here, I'll put it in the chat. By Yi-Yun Lee. It's actually the only Yoon Lee book that I've read, which I kind of find funny. But I do have a short story collection by her, Wednesday's Child. So I'll be reading that eventually. Okay. Let's do 20 minutes and I will see you all back here. Okay, how do we do on the last sprint? I made it to 140 pages in. Almost done with part 3. Oh, I'm loving it so much. I'm so happy to be back in it. I can't say much more about it, obviously, because second book in a series. But oh, bye, Amelia. Thank you so much for joining. And I hope that you enjoy your dinner. And hope to see you in 2 weeks. I ate dinner and that's all I accomplished in the last sprint. That's an accomplishment. Also, what did you have? I love hearing about what people eat for dinner. That sounds like such a weird thing to say. But when people are like cooking at home for themselves. So close to finishing The Impatient. Well, just after the sprint. You can just pretend to yourself there's another sprint going on. Set a little timer. I've done that before for myself. For my own motivation. If I can't find like a reading sprint actively going on YouTube, I'll just like set up a Pomodoro timer and be like, this is what this is for. Or sometimes I'll do the reverse where it's like, okay, I'll do the Pomodoro while I'll work for the like 40 minutes or whatever. And then I will take a break and read for like, that's what my break time will be. I had crispy tofu nuggets with slaw and homemade gravy. Ooh, oh, homemade gravy. That sounds really good. Also, the textures together sound amazing. Good luck, Sam, with finishing it up. And I hope that you enjoy the ending of it. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Again, we'll be sprinting in 2 weeks on April 27th. I don't think I've scheduled it into YouTube yet, but I'll get that scheduled this week. And then in that one, we're going to be spinning to see what our May prompt is for TBR Spin, but then we'll be doing regular sprints afterwards. So whether or not you do TBR Spin, you are more than welcome to join. Yay. Thank you. Have a great time with the rest of your days or evenings or whatever. Bye, everyone.